Welcome inside the Scotiabank Arena. The Toronto Raptors back here tonight for the first time in 9 days. The last time they were here, they were on a 6-game losing streak. Now they're on a 2-game winning streak, and it's a bit of a fun reunion tonight. You can see on the court right now, a lot of love happening right now between Raptors assistant coach Fab as well as Norman Powell. This marks the first time in almost 3 years that Norman Powell is back in the court. He's a beloved Toronto Raptor and fan favorite. Nothing but love happening right now between him and the coaching staff. And of course, on his team, you're also going to see Kawhi Leonard, who's also a former championship teammate from the 2019, of course, championship they had with the Raptors. They had that legendary three-point shot that happened in the corner. And of course, when we're talking about Kawhi, we have to play this soundbite. Yes, it's the return of fun guy Kawhi. I know you probably thought I was going to show you that shot, and of course I am. Any excuse to relive that moment, I will take it. Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers back in Toronto. They're in the city after winning a wild OT game in Detroit last night against former Raptors head coach Dwayne Casey and the Pistons. Kawhi didn't play in that game, but he will lace up tonight versus the Raptors. This isn't Kawhi's first return to the Six since taking his talents to the Clippers after helping the Raptors win the title in 2019. This was the scene when he returned back in December of 2019, and as you can see, nobody showed up. So much sarcasm. Not only does it mark the return of the Claw, but of Stormin' Norman Powell.
He bounced Norman Powell with a dunk.
Tonight is the first time Powell will be playing at the Scotiabank Arena since February 28th of 2020. He was still a Raptor at the time. Powell was traded to the Portland Trail Blazers in 2021 for Gary Trent Jr., eventually making his way to the Clippers.
Coffee gives it up to Norman Powell.
We're hearing a lot about Kawhi, but Norman Powell played for this franchise for a number of years. What was his impact on this team?
I think when you talk about Norm, you've got to talk about impact. I think that it's interesting to look at the impact that he made as a rookie when he first burst onto the scene, and we all think of playoff Powell and the impact that he had on the team, but how he kind of had to reinvent himself over the course of his time here, where he started hot, then he kind of went through a little bit of a lull, had to find his way, find his role, to the point where he became such an impact player and a main cog and a main piece in the championship run.
With the Raps at home, the Leafs are in St. Louis taking on the Blues this evening. This is the first of 2 meetings between the clubs this season, and they both happen relatively close to each other. The Leafs' next home game is January 3rd, and it's against St. Louis.
Back to Marner, scores!
The Leafs entered their holiday break on a win over the Lightning. Tonight, it marks Game 1 of a 3-game road trip for Toronto, with the team continuing on to Arizona and then Colorado on New Year's Eve. Back inside the Scotiabank Arena, still a bit of a love fest happening for Norman Powell. If you're at the game tonight, make sure to give him a round of applause. He's been nothing but great to the fans, and of course, he loves coming back to the city of Toronto. But it's been so long. When we talk about his teammates that are out for tonight's game, John Wall is inactive. When we talk about the Raptors right now, hey, we're just playing a little bit of basketball right now, is that Precious Achiuwa for the Raptors. He is listed as doubtful tonight. The reason that's significant is because for at least a month, he was listed as out. Head coach Nick Nurse is hopeful to see Precious back on the court in game action by the end of the week. As for Otto Porter Jr., he's still listed as out.